What's up, everybody? We are here at the Apple Experience event in New York. Just flew out here for the day because, look, the big announcement here, the new MacBook Neo. Neo is new, and let's talk about this. We're gonna also talk about a lot of the other Mac announcements, but we'll start here first because this is I don't want to use the word game changer, but for Apple to enter the entry-level laptop market at a price of $599, and what this has makes it really compelling. Now, this is a 13-inch liquid retina display, all right? Also, you're looking at a Magic Keyboard, so you have that same tactile feel that you're used to on all the MacBooks you used before. You have the Magic Trackpad, right? The ability to move around. It's a large size one, so you don't feel limited by the sizing here. This color here is blush. I want to show you some of the ports here on the side. You'll have two USB-C ports right there to connect different accessories and charging. Then you have the headphone jack, and then this little thing here, this is a speaker port. There's actually one on both sides of this new MacBook Neo. That's to give a spatial audio while you're watching movies or content on a device this small. What makes this fascinating to me though, $599 price point. The processor in here is an A18 Pro chip. Now that was the same chip in the iPhone 16 Pro. So what that's gonna enable you to do is all the basic stuff you need. Word processing, email, documents. You can do photo editing. Now, it's not gonna be on that higher end, but you can absolutely do for consumer level and even a little higher photo editing. You can do video editing on here as well. So this is more than a capable machine at the $599 price point. And I might be talking about that price a lot, but here's the catcher. We had a chance to actually run into John Turnus and Greg Joswiak, and what did they tell me? Education $499. This laptop can be purchased for $499 if you have an education discount. That is a killer. Like, this makes it one of the most compelling laptops to me because you're entering in the Apple ecosystem. You think about, right, we've always talked about this idea of like the Apple tax or the Apple price is always higher, but education, this is a no-brainer, and even $599, something for my mom, something for a family member, someone who's just getting into, that wants to actually get into a Mac for the first time at an enterprise level, at a student level. Apple's really done it with this, and it's the A18 Pro chip that has enough power to really fuel and power this. So color-wise, what you're looking at, really fun stuff. This is blush. This is like a mauve, off pink color, really modern and stylish. Over back here, this is my favorite color. Citrus, it's got like those yellow accents, a little bit of maybe a little key lime pie hits in there. We also have that deeper color indigo model. We show you that as well. And then the standard silver model. The actual Magic Keyboard, it is like an off-white, but it's actually color matched to each of these. So this is the blush. You'll be able to see it's a little, has that blush color. If we show you something like the indigo, there's a little bit of a blue tint. We show you silver, it looks pure white. And if then we show you citrus, it has that off yellow color. This is not crazy from this is the best high-end, but this is gonna shake things up for sure. So love what they're doing with the MacBook Neo. The name is kind of interesting. I kind of want to ask them like, what was the idea, the genesis of Neo? It's kind of out there from what we've seen from the Apple lineup, but it's a new name, it's unique, but can't beat this. Okay, so I just found this out. We're typing on this, right? This feels really nice, and I notice the cursor, I was like, is that freaking citrus? And then you highlight the word, so they've customized the OS for each different color to even match. All right, so that MacBook Neo is not the only MacBook that Apple announced. Here in front of me, yes, they look familiar. You got the 13-inch, you got the 15-inch. These are the new M5 MacBook Air. Now, why are these important? Until the recent announcement of the Neo, this has been the quintessential foundational laptop that whenever anyone asks me what to get, this is the laptop to get. We're talking about students, we're talking about business, enterprise, and really the juice in the M5 gives you a little extra oomph to do more creative things like video editing, right? Kind of a little more advanced photo editing, even coding. So what do we have here? The M5, if you talk about the new specs in here, improvement-wise, you got a 55% increase in GPU performance, If you're talking about neural tasks, AI tasks, 4 times that amount. And then for multi-threaded performance, an 18% increase. When you look at it, exactly the same. You got the same colors. I think what makes this more compelling is that Apple has doubled the storage size. So previously the base model came with 256 gigs. These now come with 512 gigs. The entry level price starting with the 13-inch model will be $1099. And then of course, if you're talking about education, $999. These are still incredibly compelling laptops. I mean, this is really like that sweet spot for not only entry level, but a little more advanced. And as you grow into a creative journey, like I could literally do all of my video editing content on a machine like this. Super thin, super portable. So the M5 MacBook Air just gets a little kick up. All right, so we're gonna show you more MacBook stuff here. These are the new M5 Pro and M5 Max MacBook Pros, still coming in a 14-inch and 16-inch. So what do I want you to know about this? This machine, for me, from a creative performance standpoint, nothing beats it. And what they've done with the new M5 chips, like if you want to do some, let's talk about some comparisons of how it's improved. Now, I myself own an M1 Max, right, 16-inch laptop. They've made it so good, it still has not been, there has not been a reason for me to upgrade, but it depends on where you are in your upgrade cycle and journey. So if you look about the processing and improvements, if you're talking about M1 Pro to an M5 Pro, they're talking about getting performance gains, specifically with GPU and performance, around 7.8 times, all right? And then if you're talking about M1 Max to M5 Max, obviously, it's arguably almost double that, specifically when you're talking about the cores in the GPU. You can go up to 40 cores on the GPU on the Max side. The performance-wise here, it's just incredible. The design is everything you expect. It's the same ports. You obviously have Thunderbolt 5 equipped on here. You can connect up to 4 external displays on the M5 Max MacBook Pro. You can do, I believe, 3 on the M5 Pro MacBook Pro. But if you're someone who wants the most power, whether it's coding, photos, and videos, we talk about this. You can do it on the very entry level, but yeah, if you're doing complex, multiple layers of 4K video, this is the machine to get. It has a sweet spot in my heart. I would be the first to say these laptops are not for everyone because of the power that they offer for you. But if we're talking about price point, let's start with the M5 Pro 14-inch. That's going to be $2,199. And what makes these at least more compelling to me is Apple's really across the line bumped up the base model storage. So for that model, they bumped it up to 1 terabyte starting. If you look at the M5 Max 14-inch MacBook Pro, follow along with me, that's going to start at $3,599, and that is with 2 terabytes starting storage. So look, if you're someone who doesn't want to play around and fiddle with external drives, which I used to have to do in the past, I mean, I've said it over and over, I can't say enough, this is the best performing laptop that I have ever owned, and it still holds that spot. Another option that you always have here, specifically with the MacBook Pro lineup, the ability to have a nano texture display. This is what diffuses any direct light. I mean, we have harsh lighting coming down directly on here. The good thing, I mean, if this is something that you want, it's a $150 upgrade to do that. It really depends on your work conditions. I go with the standard display because I like the deep inky blacks, but if you're working with a lot of windows or lighting that hits you, the nano texture is a great option. And I mean, you can see here, you didn't see a single glare hit this while we were talking. All right, everybody, let's check out the Apple Studio Display and the Studio Display XDR. We have them side by side now. It's been about, 3 years or so since Apple has upgraded the Studio Display. Let's talk about some of the actual technical changes. These are both 27 inches, all right? This is still the entry-level model, is still an LCD display, 600 nits, peak brightness. If you go over here, this is gonna be using a mini LED display, peak brightness 2000 nits. We actually have a setup here where both of these are connected to this MacBook down here. And what we're gonna do is maybe just at least give you an idea. You can obviously do a lot of video editing, but some of the specular highlights, and you'll be able to see at least some of the difference in the brightness between these two when we compare them, where it comes to some of the highlights in the waves, or even where the sunlight is hitting the subject's faces. You can definitely tell that, at least on the right side, it's enabled because of that peak brightness. You're able to get some of those popping hits as you're watching the video. Now, both of these are equipped with the 12 megapixel center stage camera built in. Not only is that for video conferencing, but it also does a desktop view. If you want to do some sort of demos, it'll be able to see that. You do have the 2 Thunderbolt ports on the back, Thunderbolt 5, one upstream, one downstream, and it allows you to daisy chain multiple displays. These do support spatial audio with the speakers, and as well there's 3 microphones to capture better stereo audio from you. But when I look at this competitively in the market, if we're talking about price, the standard studio display over here, $1,599. The studio display XDR, $3,299. Now, yes, the tilt and rise, that hinge, that stand is built into this, but when I talk about competitively what's out there in the market, it doesn't become as compelling for me. Yes, the mini LED studio display XDR supports 120 hertz, but we have a lot of displays that people can purchase for around $1,200. OLED displays for gaming, that's really a lot more appealing. From a creative standpoint, I could see like, yes, okay, you like that design feel, it fits into the Apple ecosystem. I mean, these do look gorgeous, but you know, after all this time, 3 years later, I kind of want a little bit more. All right, everybody, so that is a look at all the firsthand, hands-on experiences here, all the different Macs, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, and yes, of course, MacBook Neo. Look, I think of everything that stood out here, I didn't know what to expect, but this is just, I would say, this is, this is not targeting the high end, but this is the smartest decision that Apple has arguably ever made when it comes to the Mac. An entry-level, more than capable machine that looks like a Mac, feels like a Mac, has the most charm of any Mac that we've seen with these colors and all the color matching. And again, $599 starting price point, or $499 from education. I don't want to call it a game changer, but I feel like this is going to change a lot for Apple and the industry, because who wouldn't want a MacBook for the very first time at $499? So good. Can't wait to review this, and we'll have plenty more coming to the channel, but the MacBook Neo, I don't know what you all think. Put in the comments, because I want to see what you're thinking, but I'm digging it.